Of course, it was a surprise initially when they told me, but when they narrated what they're going to do with my character, the way they are going to make her positive just in the nick of time,
Hmm.
I was like, I am very happy. This is one of the best exits I have ever got in a show. I
Yeah.
have messaged Mukta, I have messaged Shreya, Nikita, our writer. I told her, I said, the whole time you've made me such a negative character, which shades, like सामने वो इतनी बड़ी मीठी छुरी and then पीछे. So as an actor, there was so much to play. But end में, when they made me positive now, I was like, this is the best. I know Neeti because she was with me in the last Bade.
Yeah.
So I know N because of that. And initially I used to follow her and follow the show because Pooja, my darling Pooja, is also there in it. So I had to. Plus Ajju and all were there. And my first it was being directed by Deepak Chauhan. During the leap, it was being directed by Muzu. And Muzu has been there since the last Bade, Kasauti, and now. So there are a couple of common factors and lovely people that I know for years
Yeah.
that are a part of the show. So I was, but then after that, I'm so busy with my own things that I couldn't get an opportunity to watch it so much. As I said, the acting, it used to be very loud. It used to be very over the top in many, many shows. Now it's more natural. Even drama is more natural.
So, Bhabhi, we have seen you in a number of shows over the years, and now in Bekaboo. What makes this show, your role in this show, different?
So it's basically a cameo. I don't know who said that I'm coming in this show, and I'm like, I've not even spoken about it because it was just a 3-day shoot. But
Yeah.
this was the first time that I was doing like a series like that, which is, fantasy and things like that. I have never, like, the whole attire, I don't know if people have noticed, but there are like 4 or 5 pieces of wig,
Yeah.
hair, buns on my head. The jewelry is much more than kasauti. I thought kasauti ke upar kuch nahi ho sakta, but no, I surprised myself.
Hello and welcome to News 18 Showsha. I am Chirag Sehgal, and joining me today is an actress who has over the years proved that she can play any role with utmost ease and perfection. Please welcome Shubhaavi Choksey. Thank you so much, Shubhaavi, for joining us. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I hope you're well too.
Very well. Shubhaavi, we have seen you in a number of shows over the years, and now in Bekaboo. What makes this show, your role in this show, different?
So it's basically a cameo. I don't know who said that I'm coming in this show, and I'm like, I've not even spoken about it because it was just a 3-day shoot.
Yeah.
But this was the first time that I was doing like a series like that, which is, fantasy and things like that. I have never, like, the whole attire, I don't know if people have noticed, but there are like 4 or 5 pieces of wig,
Yeah.
hair, buns on my head. The jewelry is much more than kasauti. I thought kasauti ke upar kuch nahi ho sakta, but no, I surprised myself.
Yeah.
Outfit is different. The acting, I think, is a little loud compared to what I've normally done on TV. And we were shooting in Karjat. Hats off to the people who do mythos and historicals, because I realized in 3 days of shoot, it is such a difficult, and
Yeah.
it's a very difficult job. It's more difficult than doing TV. So
But
hats off
just
to them.
3 days of shoot, does this mean that you will be seen only in the initial episodes of the show?
Only 1 or 2 episodes. That's it.
But like you mentioned, that shooting for the show was very different. Bekaboo is a fantasy show. What were the differences? Like you mentioned, you experienced कि एक genre से जब दूसरे genre में काम करते हैं, especially in the fantasy. What are the differences that you saw?
So let's start with the look. Okay, the look.
Yeah.
Normally my makeup gets over in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, like half an hour max. In 40 minutes, I'm completely ready with the hair, with the costume, with jewelry, everything. Here, my makeup took about an hour, 30 minutes, hour 15. My hair was getting done simultaneously, but still that took another 45 minutes. So 2.5 hours I took to get ready for this show. Because even when they're draping the sari and all, they have to stitch it up because, so that it doesn't go from here to there. It doesn't move when you're walking and things like that. The sets, The sets which we shoot on are like our house. So, it's like,
Yeah.
we know that there is AC on. We know that, if the AC is not, we can't use AC for any reason for the show. I mean, for the scene or something, we can go somewhere else and get a fan. Here, this was in the outdoors. This was, it was a different experience after very long. We
Yeah.
were shooting in Karjat, which was luckily at that time cold. But then by the afternoon, evening, it used to be hot and wearing all that jewelry and the costume and everything. And I sweat like a pig.
Yeah.
Pigs don't sweat. Anyway, so that acting wise, also, it's like if I'm saying that, I don't like you or I hate you, that had to be like power 100. I hate you. It's like that, like a reverb at times. So it was good fun, yeah. It was good fun. Difficult,
but was it
good
exhausting?
Fun. Physically exhausting, yes, but mentally it wasn't, because I was doing something different. I knew it was just a cameo. It was just for some couple of days. So I was like, this is interesting. I want to know what it is like. I've never done a historical. I've never done a mythological. So this show was something different for me. But yeah, it's just a cameo.
Bekaboo is a fantasy show. In India, or there's a certain section of people who generally troll fantasy shows for various reasons. Do you think as far as Hollywood is doing it, it's fine, but when the same thing is being repeated on or recreated on Indian television, there's negativity around?
So, I tell you that the people who want to troll now, with all due respect to all of them who's watching this, they will anyway troll. Whether you're doing a daily soap and it is a fantabulous plot with an amazing cast, with everything perfect, if they have to troll, they will still troll.
Yeah.
And I have always said this for television, and I will always keep saying this even in the future. There are certain sect of people who like a particular kind of shows, so they watch those particular kind of shows. Okay? And not necessarily that you say rural and urban and no, bhai. I've also seen people who never used to watch a kind of a show, and suddenly they're like, I like this, yeah. I like this actor in it. Or I like this person's character in it. I like this look. So you don't know which project of entertainment, whether it is TV, whether it is theater, whether it is the Broadway or the films in the Indian film industry or abroad, that you get somewhere connected for that 10 seconds and you're like, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
So then it goes on. So I really feel it's very personal. And जिसको troll करना है वो तो करेंगे ही.
But
and everybody's a choice है ना, so I don't understand that why everybody makes such a hoo-ha about it. I mean, in my opinion.
But you also switched from Bade Achhe Lagte Hain to Bekaboo, which again, a very different. Both the roles that you played in both these shows are very different. As an actor, how difficult is it? Because you also have to get into the skin of your character. When you're moving so fast from one character to another, is it difficult?
No. I was asked this question, I think, just about 15 days ago or 10 days ago, that, did you take any character home? Sometimes what happens is that you take certain characters home because you're so into it. But no, it's not happened with me. For me, it is a switch on, switch off. And since day one, it has been like that. I only remember that Kyunki ke waqt, मुझे बहुत सारे headaches होते थे because the scenes were very, gusse wala, and I used to scream and shout, and I used to cry and scream and shout. So that used to give me a little headache because you're doing it again and again, master shot liya, close up shot liya, ye liya, wo liya. So when you repeatedly do it, then you get a headache or over, like if it's a long scene and all that.
Yeah.
But I have a switch on, switch off mode. The minute I sit in my car, I am Shubhaavi.
Yeah.
I am thinking, okay, next day kya karna hai? What do I have to do at home? Are there things that I have to buy for my sons, school, some stationery? Is there any homework left? There are certain things at home that I'm like, arey yaar, I was supposed to buy this and I didn't buy this. Oh, I was supposed to do this. So, wo chalta rehta hai. So, no, I am not the person who... And it's easy because this is what my grandmother had told me when I was growing up. But I didn't realize that it would help me in acting. She had told me that, I said that, when I was growing up in my teenage years in school and college, I was like, I don't like this person. This person is not, nice to me. That person is behaving like this. And, this. And I used to keep telling her. And she used to be, you know what? You should be like a kumbhar. Like you should keep molding yourself like the potter molds the pot.
Yeah.
Not losing your identity. You be yourself, but start molding yourself. Basically, she was saying that adapting. So for me, I think it's just maybe an inborn quality that when I go to a set, I ask the director, what do you want? Before that, I've asked the creatives that what is the look that you're looking at? What is your thought process?
Yeah.
And I just go according to it. So that's why maybe it actually doesn't, it doesn't affect me.
But the leap in Bade Achhe Lagte Hain 2 also came as a little surprise for everybody. Personally, I also thought there'll be another season, but not the leap. For example, we had Ram and Sakshi earlier, then Nakul and Disha.
Yeah.
Was it a surprise for you too?
Of course, it was a surprise initially when they told me, but when they narrated what they're going to do with my character, the way they are going to make her positive just in the nick of time, I was like, I am very happy. This is one of the best exits I have ever got in a show. I have messaged Mukta, I have messaged Shreya, Nikita, our writer. I told her, I said, the whole time you've made me such a negative character, which shades? Like samne wo itni badi meaty churi and then peach. So as an actor, there was so much to play. But end mein, when they made me positive now, I was like, this is the best. So yes, of course, any show when it comes to an end or any show when it goes through any change, it is going to be a surprise. It's a normal human tendency. But the way it was taken care of as far as my character is concerned, I am very, very happy.
Yeah.
So
but
no complaints about it.
Have you been following Randeep and Neeti's chemistry on screen in Bade Achhe Lagte Hain 2 after the leap?
I know Neeti because she was with me in the last Bade.
Yeah.
So I know N because of that. And initially I used to follow her and follow the show because Pooja, my darling Pooja, is also there in it. So I had to, plus Ajju and all were there. And my Anu, first it was being directed by Deepak Chauhan. During the leap, it was being directed by Muzu. And Muzu has been there since the last Bade, Kasauti, and now. So there are a couple of common factors and lovely people that I know for years that are a part of the show. So I was. But then after that, I'm so busy with my own things that I couldn't get an opportunity to watch it so much.
Yeah. But you have been in the industry for a very long time now. As an actress, what do you think has changed in the showbiz industry over these years?
A lot of things. I think the way that you look at a certain character, the way that you give importance for the nuances of a certain character. First, what used to happen is that, you are doing a character, the scene has come, you may ask a little questions and that's about it. At least because maybe I was young, I didn't have the courage maybe, or maybe the intelligence to ask. But as the time has gone by, I've also seen that when you ask a question, you are getting an answer to it. Back then I didn't ask questions, I was too young. But there is a little practicality involved. There is also a little rationality involved, which initially itna nahi tha. Matlab it was like, haan, theek hai na, karenge. Kya farak padta hai? Now it's like, no, the audiences are going to question why. This scene was weird. This is where, your footwear was something else, and in that it was footwear. So they've started noticing everything. So I love that. Even audience perspective, it has changed as far as it's changed for me. Then the look has changed. Yeah, I remember I used to always have this big issue that I used to say, I don't want to put makeup. I don't want to put so much makeup. I don't want to put, you want to do eye makeup, you do lipstick, you do. I don't want to put base. But back then you had to cake yourself up.
Yeah.
And we all looked very different. And I look much better when there is lesser makeup on me. So I'm happy that the makeup trend has changed now.
Yeah.
So that's one more thing. Plus, as I said, the acting, it used to be very loud. It used to be very over the top in many, many shows. Now, it's more natural. Even drama is more natural. Little cinematic liberty we will take, but still, relatively, it's natural. And the people also, I think, have changed. Back then, we didn't have social media. We used to just be and do what we want. it's unfortunate that I've heard from so many young people, that they're like that we have to watch what we say, we have to watch what we do because of social media. So I think that has also changed. So there are a lot of things which have changed.
But like you also mentioned about the makeup, for females also in the industry, do you think gone are the days when it was just about being beautiful on screen or being
Yes.
on screen?
That is amazing, because what happens is that, there was a certain stigma around the kind of a person that you need to be on television and any medium, even films, even TVCs, even television. That's not there for what, nearly a decade now. And I also love the fact that people are going rural, because being an urban person, I really don't know the real rural India. Of course, it's exaggerated in many projects, but at least koi jhalak to dikhti hai, which you're like, oh, acha, aisa hota hai. Then I call up my friends, who are in that part of India, and I'm like, is it true that it happens? And like, yeah, Shubhu, it's true. So it's good that this also is educating you in some form or the other. And the look, though, I love the fact that don't need to be dolled up all the time. You don't need to wake up also with makeup, which used to happen at that time. So it's good. Yeah, that has also changed.
But kabhi aapke saath hua hai, you have realized one thing while working on a show, and then you dialed your friend or anybody and be like, yaar, aise sach mein hota hai? Like, what is that one thing jiske baad aapko laga aise sach mein hota hai?
So there are a couple of things. I think honor killing, I really didn't know that it happens. I didn't know that in certain parts of northern India, as you see over the years, what's happening with women and men also happen. Physical abuse, mental abuse. I know that this exists, but I didn't know that it was at such a high level. Where people are physically abused for like a very, very, very. For me, it's a petty reason. Maybe it's still not for them. Like the clothes that I wear, or the me being me, speaking my heart out. Women's like there are so many things which I was like, really, you're not allowed to, but why? Really, you can't? Why? Are you serious? This happens in 2022. Last year also, I won't be able to say that whatever, but it was somewhere in the north. And I was like, really? They're like, yeah. And then she told me that what happened to her when she used to, walk past and like go through school to her house, and that whole walk used to be so difficult for her. And I was like, I never knew, touchwood, any of these things, because we live in Mumbai. And everybody is very helpful here. But in other parts of India, there are still people where it's not safe for a woman. So these things I knew about. But when you see it on a level which is very different, and then when you ask friends and you're like, yeah, Shubhu, it happens. And I'm like, God. Really hats off to all those women.
You have been a part of several iconic shows, including Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, Kahaani Ghar Ki, then Kasauti sequel. Earlier, shows used to run for a very long period of time. आजकल इतना लंबे टाइम के लिए shows नहीं चलते हैं. Why do you think what do you think is the reason behind this change in trend?
So I think it's the fast-paced life that we lead, and we've been leading for a very long time. I remember having this conversation with someone, and everybody was saying, that production value. Some people were talking about actors and actresses. Some people were talking about plots, and some people were talking about what topic you're picking up. And but I strongly felt it back then, and I'm repeating the same thing. It is that we lead a very fast-paced life. There are very few people who will want to stop and say, "Ke nahi, I want to go slow." No, they all want to run. 90% of the people want to run. If somebody else is doing it, then they want to do it. In my time, when I was growing up, if you would see 5 friends, like if 5 of us would be walking together, even today, you will be that this person is dressed differently, that person is dressed differently, this one has a different individuality. all 5 of us will look different.
Yeah.
But I have unfortunately seen that out of 5, most of the youngsters that I have seen, they all look similar. They all have one kind of a fashion that is running, and that fashion is fast. Your style will be with you because it's your personality, coming out. But your fashion is going fast, and people want everything cut. Nahi, ye nahi hai, chalo. Ye nahi hai, chalo. Okay, move on. I think that is what is happening. That people cannot be with only one thing, because also there is so much variety. You only don't have television and films like how we had back then. You have OTT, and you have Indian OTT, and you have South Asian OTT, and you have, all kinds, like you have all the globe in your one fingertip. So I think that these two are the reasons. But to me, I feel it's that people just want to change. People just get very hyper and very maybe extremely bored very fast, and they don't have the patience level to wait for it to unfold, I feel.
We have also seen this narrative prevailing that television content has become regressive over a period of time. Do you agree?
Yes, certain projects definitely, but they also have to understand that there are certain projects that are catered to a certain kind of people in a particular part in India.
Yeah.
Where somewhere I feel that a person who, like, I'm a Mangalorean, okay, and my chachi lives in Mangalore. Now, I don't think my chachi is going to be happy watching extramarital affairs on Netflix or on something like that. She would go to a show, a TV show which has family together, like a Suraj Barjatya ji's, like a Sanjay Leela Bhansale's. So you have to cater to those kind of people also. I am the kind of a person who would love to watch everything on Netflix or on any other channel, because A, I'm an actor, I want to learn. B, I love when I see different content. It's like, oh, wow. You sleep with something that night when you watched something. But some people just want to watch something which makes them happy. There is such a large part in India where women still wear saris and go to sleep. Okay, so that those women want to see a particular kind of shows. They don't want to see anything else. And so then why? They won't call it regressive. Yes, I will not go into the details, but there are certain shows and there are certain scenes in particular shows which I'm like, this is not done. But then now you can't get into everybody's cinematic, vision or whatever. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Shubhaavi, for joining us. It was wonderful talking to you. All the very best for your future projects.
Thank you, Chirag. Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Shubhaavi Choksey, and you are watching me on News 18 Showsha. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.